Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Now we are welcoming the new year 2014. My name is Yoko Ishikura. I'm a professor at the Graduate School of Media Design at Keio University. And it's great to welcome all of you for the new year. And this is still the 10th of January, and I realize that we're starting long weekend starting tomorrow. So I really do appreciate you're here rather than somewhere else. And what we would like to do this year, since this is the second year of Davos Experience in Tokyo, and this is the 11th session, since we started last year in February, I would like to make it much more participants-driven rather than me or us, choosing the topics and so forth. And I also would like to shift much more from discussion to action, because we want to make something happen rather than just discuss. So that's the kind of thing that I am shooting for. So that is sort of like my New Year resolution. And probably your New Year resolution may be to develop communication skills in English, or to develop presentation skills or leadership skills and so forth. But that's fine. Let's stick to that, and let's try to collaborate with each other so that we can sort of support each other. It's very easy to sort of feel after a week or two that your New Year resolution is gone. But as long as we are together and we can support each other, I think we have much better chance of sticking to it. And one thing which I would like to tell you is that even though you don't you might say, okay, I'm going to start learning or listening to the English podcast like 5 days a week or something like that. Or I do exercise 5 days a week. Then after a little while, you may be too busy or you may be tired and so forth, so you just kind of don't do it, like for a week or so. But don't give up at that point. It's very important to start it all over again. You haven't lost anything, even though you haven't done for a week or so. A lot of people just say, oh, I don't have any strong will, so I'm just going to give up. But I think the trick to stick to something is just to, keep on trying and start it all over again so that you can join and you can accomplish. So that's one of the things which I tell myself, so I'm telling you. And so I need sometimes the support. Sometimes it's much better to take your own advice. And so I give some advices, but that means I'm expecting you to give me back my advice so that I can stick to it. Anyway, what we would like to do today is New Year, new agenda. So rather than giving you the topic from us, we would like you to think about what are the critical issues for the new year 2014 in your view. So you can talk about all those general things like global agenda and poverty, that's fine. But I would like you to think about what do you think as a critical issue for you and for the year 2014. And hopefully there's something that you can do about it rather than something that we expect our leaders to do so and so and so. So that's the kind of thing that I would like you to focus on today. And rather than just giving you the totally free, total freedom to choose anywhere and whatever, what I would like to do is just to get you some of the categories of things so that we can sort of assign, okay, this group will be working on this type of issues. Those who are interested in that particular issue can go there. And some other, categories, you can go to the other group or so forth. So that at least we have a little bit of cohesiveness or the potential for collaboration. Okay? So rather than, you can go anywhere and start discussing everything, we may not be able to get to wherever we would like to. So why don't you give us some of the other categories that you can think of? Are you with me? Do you understand? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. What are the kind of things that, anything will do?
Employment.
Employment, okay. Employment. I'm going to ask somebody to write. Okay, can you? Yeah. Employment, education. Somebody said education, right? Okay. What else?
Energy.
Go ahead.
Energy.
Energy, okay. For some reason, everything's strictly.
Japan as a brand.
Japan as a brand, okay. Anything else? Okay.
Technology.
Technology. What else?
Institutional decay.
Institutional decay.
We need a new version.
Yeah. Well, we'll just move this. Yeah. Okay. What else? Just anything. Just go with a lot of ideas. The more is better.
Global warming.
Global warming. Okay. Global warming. That's mine. Oh. What else?
Low bathing. Low bathing.
Low birth rate. Okay. Low birth rate. Anything else? It doesn't have to be something sort of hard. It can be something that much softer or fun type of thing. Africa. Okay.
Air pollution.
Air pollution. Now we are getting into A's.
Back to elderly.
Elderly care. Okay.
Immigration.
Immigration. What else?
Family style.
Family style. Okay.
Health.
Health. Okay. What else? How many of you, this is the first time to come to the Davos session? Okay. You are privileged to give us some ideas. What do you think?
Seniority.
Seniority? Okay. Good.
Seniority, sorry, in sense of the seniors in the society or seniority within the company?
Seniority, when you say seniority, it can be like senior citizens, or it could be seniority system within the company. System, okay. Seniority system. Good. Excellent. What else?
Science innovation.
Science innovation, okay. What else? You didn't expect me. Hold on. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, well, for those of you who came for the first time, don't be afraid, just say something. And, we're not asking for something like really super intellectual. I just want some ideas. And whenever we are looking for ideas, the more is better. Because then, once we have so many ideas, we come up with so many crazy ideas. And that's what we want. But
Working style.
working style,
Good food.
good food. Excellent. If we talk about good food, what else? I think about good wine.
Yes.
Working-life balance. Okay. What else?
Relationship.
Relationship. Okay.
As anybody mentioned the women's participation.
Women's participation.
In where?
Okay. Do you have any particular field? Or, women participation in anything? Or
Yeah, anywhere. But so far I'm a businessman. I'm interested in
Business.
yeah,
okay.
and connecting this idea to it.
Okay. 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 Anything else? Economic and equality.
Inequality.
Inequality, oh, okay. What else?
Democracy.
Democracy, okay. Let's see. Okay, why don't we, go ahead.
Leadership.
Leadership, okay. So these are, well, this is a partial list. I'm pretty sure we can go on and on and on. But this is a partial list of the issues that you think are very critical for the year 2014 and probably go on beyond 2014. So let's try to, it seems like that there are some groups which we can put together. So let's figure out what kind of groups we can think of. Because I think we have about 30 people here or so, close to. So probably we can make like 5 groups, 5 or 6 groups. So let's try to come up with like 5 or 6 categories. What, any ideas?
I can put institution, democracy, education into the box of social framework.
Okay, institutional and
Democracy.
democracy. Where is
That in the center.
Oh, here. And education? And social? What else? I'll give some ideas, okay?
Employment and work-life balance, working style, and the women's participation.
Okay. Employment, working style, work-life balance, women participation. What about seniority? Or we could put together and the other demographics, either way. Okay. What else? What other groups?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Science and innovation.
Yeah.
And technology.
Yeah.
Is growth.
Okay.
Air pollution and the
Global warming.
Global warming.
growth.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
So we have Japan as a brand, food and wine, and perhaps we can put it together.
Okay. So that's the idea, right?
And perhaps education for the second place.
Good food and wine and education? Okay, education can
Go
fit into a lot of different things, it seems like. So let's just leave it there. What else? I think we have some things which is like a demographic related a little bit, such as low birth rate and public health,
Family style are all part of that.
family style, immigration, elderly care, health.
Yeah.
What about energy?
It's with science, so
Science, technology, and
science or with global warming.
Okay, either way. Okay. Okay, so at least we can come up with employment kind of groups and technology, innovation, that kind of things. And let's see, institutional democracy, kind of abstract type of things. And Japan is a brand, capitalizing on that. And let's see, demographic related. Those are like 5. And we haven't quite included economic inequality, Africa, seniority system. Where shall we put it in the employment, sort of business related? Okay, why don't we do this? Let's do like business, work related. And this is institutional democracy. And we have technology, innovation. We have Japan as brand. And let's see. We have demographics. And what else?
We get employment.
Employment? Okay. We can have employment as a separate one from working. Work-related. What else?
The environment.
The environment?
Air pollution.
Oh, I see, okay. Environment. Okay. This is a good start. So why don't we do this? You can pick any one of these 7 and can go to any one of the groups and discuss what issues in much more detail. And think about why that's the critical issue. And what are the kind of things that we could do? Okay? Then I would like, so you can spend about pretty close to like an 15 minutes or so. And then we can just go around and report back. Probably about 40 minutes. And we spend the second hour just discussing these and choose which ones we want to tackle in the next session and the session after that. Okay? Clear? And what I would like you to do is just go to any one. If you're interested in 2, try to decide on 1. Because you can't split into 2, or you can't have a quorum and let them go. And but if some groups are huge and the other one is small, you might want to go to the small one because then you get much more chances to speak up. And this whole thing of Davos Experience in Tokyo is the practice. So you are here, you really need to do it. Don't just sit and just kind of make comments. Try to take an initiative, lead the discussion, and argue back and forth, and try to come up with a lot of good ideas, interesting ideas. It doesn't have to be, just don't be too critical. Just get a lot of ideas out. And why do we think these issues are critical? What are we going to do with it? Okay? And let's see. I think that's about it. So let's just do that. And for those who are here for the first time, make sure you say a lot. Don't let all these people who have been here many times just kind of take over and do the whole thing, dominate. That's not the way. Everybody is equal. If everybody has equal chances, so you got to take it. But you have to take it. Don't let others take your time, air time from you. What I would like you to do is go to any one of these groups, introduce yourself, don't exchange cards. It's going to take too long. We can do that after the session, so at the networking. So introduce yourself quickly, who you are, why you're here, what do you do, why you're interested in these things, and then go from there.
I have a question. Should we talk what we like to do for ourselves, or this group should be doing something through the year? Which is about?
What we would like to do, or what we should.
Okay, maybe this.
Yeah.
I would like to do something this year.
Yeah.
This group should be.
About that particular issue?
Choosing the issues. This group should be doing. Which is.
Well, if you can get your group to buy your idea, I think that's the best of both worlds.
To have a topic for this group, this entire group.
No, it doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It's much more of your view. And what we're trying to do is get some issues, get some topics for like February and March. And we will pick the topic that we have discussed today and choose which one we would like to do in February and March. And that was when we go much deeper into that. Clear? Okay. It's your time to move. So bring your chairs and go to any one of the groups. And you can, if you don't quite like the grouping, you know, in the way that I put together the issues, you can change somewhat.
Demographics result in many good.
Well, this includes lots of social
Can I talk now? Hi. Okay. Hi. Can you hear me? I know at least one. It seems like 3 people are already. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do. Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Yoko Ishikura. I hope that you are watching. You watched the first 10, 15 minutes of our session, Davos Experience in Tokyo. And I will be facilitating, or I will be just discussing with you the critical issues for 2014. And you don't have to, as you may have heard, that we have some of the issues that have been pointed out, and in the real session. But why don't I just ask each one of you to introduce yourself?
Yes.
I think we have like 3 people there. Yeah. Hold on. ねえねえ、
Yes.
声が聞こえないんだけど。向こうの。Can somebody talk?
Testing. Can you hear me? I can. Do you hear me?
Can you repeat that? I just heard the last part. Can somebody talk and introduce yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm speaking right now. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Can I stop? Please?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Yoko Kudo. I'm in Keio University. I'm in the second year. I major in law. And yes, this is my first time to come here, so I'm nervous right now.
Thank you very much. So where are you now?
I'm in my student dorm right now because I had another plan, so I couldn't make it to Roppongi.
Oh, okay. That's no problem.
Sorry.
So you are which major are you? You are in law?
Yes,
Law
I'm
department.
in law.
Okay, great. Excellent.
Thank you.
And Yoko-san.
Hi.
Okay, great. Excellent. Okay, let's go to the next person. Either one of you. I don't think,
Now?
yeah. Uh, can you say it again? It seems like I am not hearing you. You meaning, let's go to, hold on, let's go to Miki-san. Miki-san, are you there? I see Hiroko-san and Miki-san. And Hiroko-san, I can't hear your voice. And Hiroko-san, are you there? I can hear Yoko-san,
Yes.
Kudo-san.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can't hear the others.
Isn't like Hiroko-san turning off her microphone? Like her settings seems to like turning off her like the microphone. So maybe that's why we can't hear her.
Can Yoko-san, can you hear Hiroko-san?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I can't.
For some reason, we are not hearing you.
We're having a hard time understanding the differences between employment
And work? That's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not trying to differentiate it. No problem. Okay. 聞こえないの？
どれ？
この人も聞こえないし、このもう一人も、陽子さんしか聞こえない。Yeah, if you could just be a little bit patient. I think we're trying to get the. ひろこさん? Okay, Hiroko-san, it seems like that your microphone is muted. So up on the top of your screen, there is on the left-hand side, there's a microphone, which is crossed out. Can you erase it? Can you release it? Can you hear me? Hiroko-san, can you speak up? Hiroko-san, can you hear me? Can you speak up? What about Miki-san? Are you still there? There's this microphone muted on the left-hand side. これこうなっちゃったんだけど。うん。Okay. Oh, okay. I see. I see. Probably you just want to listen. Let's just continue then with Yoko-san. You can still hear me, right?
Yes, sure. I am.
今度こっちが聞こえなくなっちゃった。この陽子さんが。こっちに聞こえない。
Hello? My voice reaching?
陽子さん
Yes.
What do you think are the critical issues? Let's just continue.
Okay. Wait. Apparently, like Hiroko-san says that her speaker doesn't work right now, so
Oh, okay.
that's why.
Your speaker doesn't work, right? Okay. Okay. So we can just go on and you can write. Hiroko-san, if you like, you can write and show it to us. So let's just, yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well,
What would be your issues for 2014?
my issues? Well, that's
Yeah.
difficult because, like, to be honest, I'm not really following the up-to-date news so far.
Yeah. But that's okay. That's what do you think is the big thing that you would like to think about or do something about?
The number of students who are going abroad, like in universities or high schools.
Yeah.
And well, I think that English education in Japan is quite weak compared to other countries, and that could be a reason that, like Asians, including Japanese,
Yeah.
are not having kind of, like 存在感 in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know that some schools are
Yeah.
starting to have an English education from the before the middle school. So like in how do you say, like from age 6 or 7. Still, I can't see the improvement in the education. So yes, that could be one of the things that I thought.
Okay. So So educational system overall not quite as good as it should be.
Yes, especially in English education.
Okay. What do you think is what do you think we could do with it about that?
Well, from my experience,
Yes.
actually I haven't speak English in my class because like all we do in class is like just read and read the sentence which is on the textbook and just learn the grammars. And I do know that reading and grammars are pretty important, of course.
Yeah.
At the same time, we've never made actual conversation in English, so that's why I was pretty surprised or like feel sorry about me because even I spent like 6 years to study English.
Yes.
I couldn't even have a conversation with some people who are from like English speaking countries. So that's why I just start trying to speak English after I entered university, and now I'm kind of becoming used to it. So I do really think that kind of having an English conversation in class is really important. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I totally agree, and I think the language, particularly speaking, is critical. I mean, it's so important. You have to express your own, view or your opinion, or whether you like certain things or not, why you don't like certain things, why you like certain things, and you cannot develop that skill unless you do it.
Yes.
I mean, it's one of those things that we often talk about, like sports.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you read so many books on how to play tennis, or
Yeah.
how to ski, or how
Mm-hmm.
to skateboard,
Yeah.
you can never do it. You can never master unless you try. And I
Yeah.
think English is this similar kind
Mm-hmm.
of things.
Yeah.
And so I personally, that's
Mm-hmm.
part of the reason why I started this Davos experience in Tokyo, because so many people learn
Mm-hmm.
English. They
Yeah.
spend so much time and so much money
Mm-hmm.
learning English, and yet they really can't practice.
Yes,
And I think
absolutely.
I hear from a lot of people that they just don't have any opportunities to
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Yeah.
So I said, well, why not? Why don't I provide the opportunities? And
Mm-hmm.
that's precisely why we're doing this. And
Yeah.
as you may have heard at my initial session,
Mm-hmm.
I think there are like several newcomers today,
Yes.
first time that they came,
Yeah. Yes.
and they said, "Oh, no, 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 don't
Mm-hmm.
ask me." And I gave them a call, and I said, "What do you think?"
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's nothing unless you do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can ever learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So the first timers or whatever, you just have to practice as often as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing with a lot of other tools as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a little too bad that they still think that the reading and reading is important.
Yeah.
Reading is important as a base, as a
Yeah.
foundation, but it has to come together with speaking,
Yeah.
the other
Exactly.
side of it. So, and I think I heard recently it's not just true with English,
Mm-hmm.
it's also true with Japanese.
Like Japanese, like
Yeah,
like
Japanese we
Japanese stuff.
speak because that's our language.
Yes.
We don't really learn how to speak
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
proper, good Japanese in a clear way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that's the part that's being very much neglected
Mm-hmm.
overall, whether that what kind of language we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So we say yomikaki soroban,
Yeah.
which means reading, writing, and math,
Yes.
but we never say yomikaki hanasu soroban.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I said probably we could just change it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things.
Yeah.
And so, do you have any suggestions as to what we could do or what you would like to do?
Well, talking about education,
Hmm.
well, I feel like if I could have a chance to speak to an
Yes.
English speaker when I was in like elementary school, then maybe sort of changes have happened to me. So
Hmm.
um, I don't know. They're like I don't know how to call them, but in some schools, like they offer a native speakers teacher, right? So
Hmm.
increasing the number of native speakers
Yeah.
could be one of the solutions, and also by like welcoming them in Japan, like as a worker,
Hmm.
like Tokyo and other like big cities could be more internationalized, and so that like other people can have a chance to hang out with them or like see them
Hmm.
at a bar or everywhere, so that like Japanese could realize that speaking English is pretty important when you want to blind or like broaden your view. Because like now in Japan, like I think one of the reasons why people don't really want like not willing to like study English
Yes.
at school is that like without knowing English, you can't actually live in Japan because
You can what?
like without like knowing English,
Yes.
still you can live in Japan. Like
Mm.
so that's why like many people doesn't realize the necessity of English.
Mm.
That's
I see. I see.
why they don't have any motivation. So if we
Yeah.
have more internationalized circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, might be the change might be happened.
I see, I see.
In
Good,
my
good.
opinion,
Yeah. So
yes.
do you, there are some, I think there are quite a few opportunities to go abroad
Yes.
these days
Mm-hmm.
and, study.
Yeah.
Are you by any chance interested or have you done that? Or does it help?
For learning English.
Yeah. Or, just study outside of Japan.
Oh, well, like last summer, the Keio University offered a short-term summer school, so I took part in it, and
Mm-hmm.
I spent 4 weeks in Oxford and 2 weeks in London, so like
Yeah.
6 weeks in total. And yes, that is my first time to like study abroad.
I see.
Yeah, and actually, when I was like 4 years old to 6 years old, I was in London for like 2 years because because of my father's business thing.
I
But
see, I see.
yes, but after I came back to Japan, my mother put me into an elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't even an international school. So like every single class was held in Japanese. So all of a sudden, I just forgot how to speak. So I was kind of like restarted learning English right after I entered junior high.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm just great. I'm just I see that Hiroko-san
Yes.
has written something
Hmm.
and agree increase the number of students from abroad. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Do you have a chance? Hiroko-san, are you at the St. Luke Nursing School, Nursing University? Okay. Oh, research assistant in college of nursing. Excellent. And are there any uh, international students at your college? Or is it because, probably no, oh, okay. It could be because, why is that? I wonder, the nurses and, overseas have a hard time getting or working as a nurse in Japan because we have so many different regulations and things. Or do you have any classes in English? You do. Oh, okay. You don't have any classes in English. So that's going to be very difficult to have international students. Let me share my experience of teaching or studying with international students. I am at KO Media Design, and we have like 35% of the students are international. And we have two sort of academic start of the academic year. We start like every other college or every other school in April, and most of the classes are done in Japanese. But the ones which start in September, everything, basic things are done in English. So I do Japanese in April and English in September. So English September class is very lively, and they represent so many different countries. And that's smaller in size. So that's even better. So you get a lot of opportunities to speak up and so forth. So that really changes the kind of tone or the kind of atmosphere and what I am trying to do, and to some extent I think I have been successful, is that try to integrate these two groups so that they can be, together. And if they do things together, they get to know each other and they find out there are so many similar things, even though they may not speak the same language. So that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to do. And today, I'm not sure whether we have any students that at KMD today, but I invited some students of my class because I'm teaching my class now in English. And it is called Business Strategy in the Era of Drastic Change. And we do everything in English. But the students represent so many different countries. Some of them are from Switzerland. I think we have some people from Russia. We have some from Germany. We have some from Slovenia. We have some from China. And let's see, we have quite a few from Taiwan and so forth. So that's what global is all about. So what I could do is that I ask them, what's the situation in your country? Because I don't know enough about what's going on there. And that's how we can make learning experience for everybody, including me, very rich. And because we hear the stories from the people who are from that particular country. So I'm pretty sure that you can talk about nursing and hospitals in Japan to people outside, but it's very nice to hear about these things, like for example, in Indonesia, Thailand, or Singapore, and things like that. So that kind of thing would make the experience for everybody very rich and a lot of opportunities to learn. But it's too bad that we are not able to hear you. But just make sure that you join us, and we'll try to figure out how we can do these things. No, no problem. I think we have had so many technical problems in the past too. So for some reason we try so hard, but something doesn't work, and so that's nothing to worry about. We'll try and make it better, but probably next time. Well, if you have a chance, you can come here. Yeah, you can come here and really interact with others. And so that will be a very good thing. And it's really nice to have. Oh, great, great. Yeah.
Next one.
Yoko-san, you can see that,
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm
Okay,
reading.
great. Yeah, that'll be very nice.
Yes.
Okay. I think we might have lost Miki-san.
Yeah, apparently.
Are you there?
I can't
I don't
see.
think she is there. It seems like we might have lost, and I think we are. Um, there are few others who are supposed to join but haven't joined. But we will see how it goes. Okay, so English and education is a big issue for you, and how to have the interface, interaction, frequent interaction with international people.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, has either one of you tried online learning? That
No.
is like Coursera or Khan Academy, and you can watch the video, and that's in English. So you don't really have the interaction,
Yeah.
real-time interaction with others, but that's in English,
Yes.
and you can go to the discussion forum
Mm.
and join. Just write the email and things. I
Oh.
tried since September last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried one of the Coursera courses. Coursera is Coursera.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
like a course
Uh-huh.
plus RA.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you can. There are so many different courses,
Mm-hmm.
and you can enroll, and it's free. It's
That's
free of charge.
wow. Pretty cool.
And yeah, and there's the thing called Khan Academy. That's
Mm-hmm.
KHAN.
Okay.
That's another one
Mm-hmm.
online uh, educational program,
Yes.
and that is started by Salman Khan. This is a young guy, and
Mm-hmm.
he teaches so many different courses by using very, very simple and not that long. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be a very good thing to do. And I
Uh,
also try to learn how to program
mm-hmm.
computers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this course or the program called Scratch.
Stretch.
Yeah, Scratch, that was developed by MIT.
Oh,
That's a
amazing.
programming self-learning lesson for
Wow.
kids, for child.
For kids.
So yeah, so
Sounds
it's
really
got a
cool.
lot of animation and it's very
Mm-hmm.
simple. But
Oh.
you can try one of those things, any
Mm-hmm.
one of these things. Just take a look at Coursera.
Yes,
If you just
I will.
uh, search Coursera, Khan
Mm-hmm.
Academy, there will be a lots and lots of things.
Oh, I
There are a
see.
lot of demonstrations, so
Uh-huh.
you can check whether you like any one of them.
Yes.
And if you like, just give it a try.
Oh,
And that will
okay.
be a
I
very good
will.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, I will Google it
yeah.
and go. Yes.
And, like programming, I never really learned how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
And you can just, you can create the game, very simple game
oh,
on
can we?
computers. Yeah,
Wow.
something like that. So that
Oh,
are the kind of things that you could try. And they do it, I think they do it in English. So
mm,
that's like, you can
that's good.
learn, you can use English and
Yeah.
you can learn programming too.
Oh,
Same
that
thing
sounds
is true
really
with like Khan Academy and
nice.
Coursera.
Oh,
So
that's
there are
nice.
other Japanese ones,
Mm-hmm.
but I would go with the English one.
Oh, yes,
And if you
for
can't
sure.
follow, you can repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
can repeat it as often as you like.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I gave up like two courses, I tried two and
Mm-hmm.
it just became too hard.
Oh,
I
I see.
couldn't follow. So I
Oh,
gave up. But I tried the third one and I was
mm-hmm.
able to finish.
Oh,
So you could try something very small,
mm-hmm.
and I think it'll be very good if you can get some of your friends
Mm.
join you.
Oh,
Then
yes.
you can support each other.
Oh, yeah, sounds
Sometimes, yeah,
cool.
sometimes it's very difficult
Mm-hmm.
doing it on your own. But
Yeah,
if you have a friend who
yeah.
is doing the same thing,
Yes.
you can just kind of share. And
Yes.
sometimes you can say, oh, it's so difficult, I can't continue, or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Then
Yeah.
you feel a little better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of thing that we could try.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I will grab my friends into this
Yeah.
kind of,
Who
yes.
provides Coursera? Coursera
Mm-hmm.
is the program
Mm-hmm.
that is started by Stanford University
Oh, I
in
see.
California.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just say Coursera, you should be able to go there.
Oh, I see.
And if you can't, what I could do is, our website, I'll show the Coursera URL on the website, Davos
Uh-huh.
Experience, so that you can just check. Okay?
Thank you very much.
And
So nice of
I
you.
believe that in June or so
Mm-hmm.
of this program, of this
Yeah.
series,
Yeah.
we had the session on education and technology.
Oh, I see.
So you can watch the video,
Mm-hmm.
in that Davos Experience in Tokyo
Mm-hmm.
website.
Yes.
On the left-hand side, there
Mm-hmm.
is the saying past sessions.
Past
So you
sessions.
can
Yeah.
click past session,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go to the one on technology and education
Technology
and
education.
click that. Yeah, I think that was in June.
I see.
June or July.
July.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll check it out.
probably September. Sorry, I could be wrong. I think it's
Yeah, we'll find
much later. It could be like October.
October or something.
Yeah, but you can go to this session and you can watch video.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that I talked about Coursera.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just watch and see what happens.
Oh, okay, I see.
And if you don't, you can always, I think なんか聞けるんだっけ? You know, I have a Twitter. I have a tweet account.
Oh, really? Can you?
Yoko Ishikura.
Yoko Ishikura.
Yeah. And so if you search under that, you
Mm-hmm.
can come to my tweet
Oh,
and
okay.
you can ask me. You can
Mm-hmm.
make a comment.
Oh, yes.
Then I'd be happy to. And I also have a blog.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have a blog under Yoko Ishikura,
Uh-huh.
and both in Japanese and English. And
Oh,
I write every day.
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So you can, you can come, you can make a comment.
Yes.
Then I'll know your email, so I
Yeah.
can just directly respond to you.
Oh, that will be great.
So make sure that you check my blog
Yes.
and tweet. Tweet
Mm-hmm.
has also lists in my blog.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
can
So
I?
that way, I can, we can communicate with each other.
Yes, yes, that's true. Also, can
Yeah.
I visit
And I
your
talk a
blog?
lot about the kind of seminars, workshops, and other things that
Yeah.
I do on my blog.
Oh,
So you can get
I
an
see that.
idea of what are the kind of things that I do.
Sounds
And
interesting.
the reason why I write both Japanese and English is
Mm-hmm.
because I want to improve or develop my English.
Mm-hmm.
Because English is a second language for me.
Yes.
So if I don't write every day,
Uh-huh.
it goes down. My
See,
ability goes down very quickly.
yeah,
So
I
that's
see.
my way of forcing, sort of
Mm-hmm.
disciplining myself so
Oh.
that I at least I write something.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do the same thing if you want, but
Yeah.
not every day. Every day is too much. Or you could do things like what I tried is that I I pick any topic
Mm-hmm.
and talk about it in English for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah. So I could talk about like my favorite food or
Yeah.
my favorite restaurant, my
Uh-huh.
favorite music,
Yeah.
or the I what I found or the interesting people that I met
Mm-hmm.
today
Yes.
or what I did today or something like that. Anything
Yeah.
that just simple things. But I
Uh-huh.
talk about it in English for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Now we got uh, Davos Tokyo Session 8 in October
That
was
was.
the one on rethinking education.
Oh, thank you very much.
So you can watch that, and I'm pretty sure that we have a video,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. So you
Okay.
can watch the whole thing
Yes,
if you
thank you
want.
very much.
It's a little too long, so you may be bored, but
Well,
that's okay.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So, can I visit to your website via Twitter?
Pardon me?
Um, it- wait. Can I visit to your homepage via
Oh yeah,
Twitter?
yeah, yeah. Please, please.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, please. That'll be great.
All right.
And because sometimes, I meet with people at the seminar or something, they
Mm-hmm.
write something and I respond.
Yes.
Yeah. So please do.
Okay, thank you very much. I will.
That'll be fun. That'll be
Yeah.
fun. And
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes I did seminar for high school students.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think one of them went to England or
Mm-hmm.
something,
Yes.
and she was having a hard time. So she wrote to me.
Uh-huh.
She made a comment on my blog and said,
Mm-hmm.
I went to your seminar and
Mm-hmm.
I was so inspired, so I came to UK, but
Uh-huh.
now I'm having so much problem or something.
For instance, what
And
kind of
yeah, and she just sort of was successful after
um,
that. So that's very nice to hear about these things.
mm-hmm.
So please do visit my blog.
Yes, for sure. I will.
Good, good. And, as a matter of fact, Davos Experience in Tokyo, I don't know whether you are on Facebook or not.
Yes, I have a Facebook account.
Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
Davos Experience, there's a group called Davos Experience in Tokyo
Uh-huh.
on Facebook.
Yes.
So you can say, you can just ask to be a member.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, and then you will get all this information
that's
related to
cool.
Davos Experience.
Uh-huh.
And that lists so many people. About, I think it's over 100 by now.
100. Wow.
Those people who have been here.
Oh, I
So
see.
that's the kind of thing that you could try.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's the kind of thing that we're trying to do. I
Mhm.
think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have to go around and start doing the report back so that we
Ah,
decide
the discussion
on the
thing.
topics. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to
Yeah.
have to leave you,
Oh,
but
okay. Sure.
you can keep on watching
Yep, I'll be here.
because we'll show you the report back session. Okay?
Yep. Yeah, I'll be happy
Great.
to hear others'
Thank
opinion.
you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We consider systems and customs. If this is not appropriate, we have to redesign our education, our participatory systems. That's the whole point. If there is a gap between local and global, then what we have to do is reconsider what we do for granted. Those skill guys change their process. That's the point. But the thing is, information itself should change your behavior. Because you work the company you are working with, your people around you,
No, to be honest, this is I have
the way they behave.
I have some job changes. Yeah, it sounds very professional. And yeah. Well, talking about the previous company I worked for, it's a kind of military type business environment, and not only men but also women. To be honest, there are many female professionals, but they work from morning to night and give up night time and ticket. There's no work, just about what.
I don't know whatever I.
Then
They should think about like something that really matters.
you didn't idea.
This is a whole. No.
It was just incidentally that
Yeah. We talk about a lot
my colleagues and my boss set up a company and my participated. Just eventually I got the
local activity.
yeah, this is opportunity.
That's what we have to discuss. Talking about big issues,
Yeah, it was just accidental that yeah, technically we can take that kind of flexible business and also was a great opportunity to give us the mindset or mind control that being professional, I have to work from morning to night and working 20 hours a day, consistently as a week.
So we may understand the way we act does not conform with the issues. So as you point out, get people engaged, start talking, and make us conscious of what is causing the issues, but all that is prevented.
Yeah.
From beginning.
I agree about talking about institutional decay.
But system is, yeah, it's easy to say that system is a program, but it will be
Realistically thinking, maybe it's very difficult to change, as you said, company culture. So the question is what we can do. What we can satisfy myself.
Okay.
start at the report back session so that we can choose the topics. What I would like you to do is just get up, because it's about time, and go to that group, and we'll just cover all the groups. And then we'll decide on the topic for February, March. Everybody come also over here, please. We'll start from this one. Less than 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, less than that.
Yes.
2 minutes or so. Okay, our table is a business and work table. And we are interested in this topic because the last year was the year that Prime Minister Abe is announcing a lot of changes and the first arrow, second arrow, and third arrow. And talking about the third arrow, there are a lot of issues that the question is what we can do as an individual, what each of us can do. We don't know about agriculture change, or we don't know about the government deficit, or we don't know about the bigger issues, but we can think about business and work, coming back to our business field. And also, yes, last year was the year that we talked about work and life balance and the women's participation most. Then the question is whether we can continue and we can deepen the discussion and we can make a positive feedback and change at each of our working field. There are same old story, to be honest, like the generation issue, elderly people versus younger people, men and women issue, and the long time working hours. The question is whether we can really change. There are a lot of dilemmas that we pay attention to elderly people's experience and wisdom and give the opportunity for them to learn work after retirement. You will take the opportunity for younger people to make performance. We will take the opportunity of their employment. So there is a dilemma. So we have to balance. And the men and women issue, yes, there is a dilemma. We have to encourage women, but still we have to take care of maternity leave and so on. And for the prospective parents, we have to give the opportunity of paternity leave, for example. But there will be another question raises that the company is the existence to make an economic output in order to survive in the market and to being nice to the employee, how we can balance. To be honest, there is no one solution. This is a kind of homework of each of us. And there is just one hint raised from one of our members, which is recently the company is encouraging them for employees to have a second job, or companies asking independence. This is a kind of, so the implication is that the relationship of companies and individual people are changing. Maybe companies' perspective, they cannot give enough salary or they cannot guarantee the employment. But anyway, we have to and we can be independent. It's a nice thing. We can, with each of our venture straight or entrepreneurship, we can win the flexibility and free from group thinking, group pressure. So there is a kind of solution, and yes, we believe that there is a hint in this field. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay. Let's go to this group.
The topic we have discussed is this. We know in last year at Davos in Tokyo, we have discussed a lot of issues. Global warming, political issues, gender issues. We know there are too many problems. And we also know that we cannot solve these problems. The problem is, can we really collectively solve these problems effectively? Are we working effectively as a whole? The answer to this question from this table is negative. We are somehow divided in a big society. We are losing touch of bigger social issues. Our personal problems and social issues are completely separated. Our problem and their problem are not somehow related in our own lives. What do we do to solve the problem? We need to think of our social issues, and we have to feel that we are connected. To do so, there are a couple of, we don't have a solution, but there are a couple of things that we might do. One is the size. Maybe our society is too big to be organized. Japan, as a system, it's one single government cannot control the entire population of 12 million. 120. So too many people in one government actually make the situation too complicated, and making all of us, most of us, feel isolated from the political issues. So one thing is the example of Switzerland. We may actually have a smaller unit. European countries tend to have a better organization, but think about their size. You know, Switzerland, Norway, or Denmark. Their size are just as big as Shikoku or Kyushu, right? So our society may be too big to be handled by a group of smart cabinets. Another thing is that we have to change our mindset. Maybe we should think big. As an old saying tells us, think globally and act locally. We have to connect our life with that of our bigger social issues. The thing is, how can we get ourselves connected? All of us agree that gender issue is big. Our business environment should be changed. But we've been saying that for decades. Nothing has changed. Why? Each of us actually discuss about personal issues. And one of our members actually has a housewife. She graduated from a famous university's graduate program. Therefore, his wife is at least as smart as himself. Therefore, can we actually assume that she's happy by retiring from job and staying at home, despite the fact that his wife is as smart as he is? The situation actually comes down to the issue of social customs, and both a coded system, explicit system, as well as tacit system, including customs, habits, and common sense. Unless we actually tackle the way we behave ourselves today, we may not be able to achieve what we want to become collectively in the future. That's what we have discussed. Thank you.
We discussed about the technology. So first, we discussed why is technology important, and how should we do. So why is technology important? So we discussed technology is a base of our lives or our business. Technology makes innovation. Innovation makes a better people's life or many business chances or more environment. So in order to make innovations, we think four things are important. One is patent, which protect company's technology, and a second is investment. So, and the third is system supporting. System, for example, which supports venture and flexible organization. So, so the examples of technology, one is robotics. Robotics can change agriculture or elderly care, and dangerous work in hazard places. And a second example is biofuel. So biofuel has a potential developing a new energy. So these technology can change people's life or business chances. So that's why we think technology is important. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the brand, Japan's rebranding of Japan. Representing this way. Yeah, I forgot to ask. You have to select the replay.
Yeah, I know. We would like to have more younger people, but yeah, just more like experienced people. So, just as one of members, I will introduce. Just Japan as a brand is very, very huge topic, and it's very difficult to focus the first. So we just each other one by one. What is a good? Japan has what a good point or like a merit we have, and then reverse. What is a weak point or like the negative side? So one by one, we are talking about, and maybe end of the day, we just the most the strength one is a safe, especially we should consider the safe. But from normally we think the safe is more air, so we do not recognize the importance. But the safe is more, so we should be in top. But as everybody knows, this welcoming the foreign people, more like hospitalities, and then also beautiful natures, and also simply this design that come from the Zen philosophy. So quite a lot of the good point we just picked up. But same time, when we think about the foreign people, but still the very much a lack of communication skill we haven't done. So even then we wish to welcome some people, but we could not do that. So maybe negative side is the communication skill, and English is short of, and also the government. The compared to the other countries, the Japanese government is still very much in the very low an interest, and also a lack of skills and in that hospitality programs. And then also in the lack of PR, compared to the French government or Switzerland or any countries, we just short of the advertisement. So one by one, the more we focus or we think about, then we understand the negative side. And then at the summary, well, we don't get any how we could promote Japanese brand to the overseas. Not yet. We haven't reached. But the more we consider this sort of strong point or this advantage is because of we were the homogeneous countries, and most of the people the same Japanese, and then also and like either like Buddhism or Confucius countries. So like or the base is the same. So this is why this idea or like strength was established. But in now like a global world, or in the very much in the rather than homogeneous to heterogeneous, we just now change. So we have to consider how we could cope, or how we can change this strong point to the other side. So still like very much in rather than just like listing bad, we have to think about how we could turn from negative side to positive side. But in discussion we have not yet. This is a sort of summary of that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's go to this one. Oh, okay. Probably I could ask, is Yoko-san still there? Yoko-san, are you there?
Yes, I am.
It
Can you
seems
hear
like
me?
you are there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about what we talked about?
Yes, wait. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Yes, well, we talked about the education in English. I mean, English education in Japan, which is like, I thought that during my school, like actually I didn't have any chance to speak English. I mean, like have a conversation in English. All I did in my school life was just reading and having a listening and just answering to a grammar question which is written on textbook. So I think that's one of the reasons why like mainly like Japanese students are pretty weak at English compared to like others from other countries. So, and what I thought was like in increasing the number of native speakers teachers, especially in primary school, will be kind of effective to solve this problem. Because like even you know what to do, unless you don't actually do it, then like there's no point you can improve your skills. So yes, like for like personally I prefer like actually doing it than learning it. Yes, that's the kind of thing we talked about.
Okay,
Is that
and I think
okay?
we also talked about involve more international students.
Oh yes we did.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Well, by increasing the international students and also like well increasing number of workers who comes from overseas, then I thought we can make Japan like Japan's circumstance more internationally, like more international than now. And well, one of the reasons I thought why Japanese people were not unwilling to learn English is that, well, like without knowing how to speak English, we actually can live in Japan. Like there's no problem without knowing English because we don't have any like we don't really have any like barrier to okay well I mean even if you can't speak English you can actually live in Japan, so that's why like people doesn't really realize the necessity to learn English. So by increasing the international students and also like international workers will be nice to like provide the people feeling that well knowing English will be really important to broaden your mind and like broaden your view. Yes, that's it.
Great, thank you very much. Excellent.
Thank you.
usually don't do this, but I have to give you a little bit of a disclaimer before I start talking. The three of us basically joined this group about environment because we thought it's interesting, and turned out we all are not really experts on the topic. So this is, as they would say in statistics, our best estimate in a sense. And when we started, we basically tried, since it's a very broad topic, we tried to figure out a way how we narrow it down a little bit, because we kind of only had so much time, and we needed to figure out what we want to focus on. And there's 2 points we identified eventually. One, I think, is the major defining topic of our time when it comes to talking about environmental issues is global warming. And I think related to that, the other important point is energy, because at the end of the day, the energies we are using have a direct impact on global warming. And then we tried to kind of look a little bit closer on both points. And there's basically several issues right now. I mean, I think the scientific agreement, in a sense, is that global warming is caused by CO2 emissions, right? So in order to prevent that from happening, we need some sort of international agreement on how much CO2 can be emitted. But there's a certain conflict of interest, as you can see, between developed countries and currently developing countries. There's basically two views, and maybe I start with the developing countries. Their major issue, of course, is as they're growing their economies right now, they need cheap energy. And cheap energy sources have the problem of maybe being not so safe, right? Emitting a lot of CO2, having a certain nuclear risk, whatever. At the same time, we have the developed countries, on the other hand, who are now trying to get some sort of international standard on CO2 emissions. And basically, we've been trying to think about what the reasons for that are. Why is it more important for developing countries to consistently have high growth, and why is it not so important for developed countries to do so? And we've been thinking one issue in developed countries might be that this is a moral issue that becomes more and more relevant as you have more time to think about these issues, and as you are less more and more independent from basically just sustaining yourself on a daily basis. And the other thing is certainly there's a incentive for innovation, right? I mean, it's a new business field within energy, and it therefore opens up opportunities for entrepreneurial people. And therefore there is a certain interest that, on the other hand, can influence politics in a way that politics, for example, ends up subsidizing alternative energies. Yeah, the other issue on the, and I briefly mentioned this already, is what kind of energy sources are we using? And this again goes back to global warming, right? What kind of energy sources are we using currently? Which energy sources should we be using? And we identified that there's some sort of trade-off, right? You have a trade-off on one hand between risk and safety, and on the other hand between, on a monetary level, you have cheap and expensive forms of energy, right? And basically what we identified is that usually what happens is the cheaper the form of energy is, the riskier it is at the same time, right? So we as societies, and at the same time on a global scale, have to find some sort of portfolio that takes this trade-off into consideration.
Our group talked about work and life balance. We focused on work-life balance, especially women. And we thought it is important because in Japan, taking work-life balance is not very realistic. It's not very possible now. And it's not very easy compared with other countries. And we raised the question, are we productive enough? And because people work very long and work late and they don't go home early, and many people don't take vacations in Japan. And we think it's a big problem because it will ignore our quality of life. And people, especially women, they're not getting married and not having children. And that will lead to low birth rate, and also it will be a low productive society. And we think longer working hours would harm creativity and competitiveness of people. Why these issues are coming to our lives? Because the international competition is very hard, and I personally think that the situation is getting better because of Abenomics. But for big companies, it's getting better. But for those middle-sized or small companies, the situation is, in order to improve the situation, it would need more time. And we as a group thought about what we can do. We thought, like, in order to solve these issues, these are needed. One is necessary issue for women, it should be resolved. And also we need family support and company support as well. And also women's will, strong will to do this, to accomplish both work and life balance. And also we need role models. And the ideas we came up with in order to resolve the issues, we should think about how we can introduce new working styles, like work sharing, working at home, and flexible working environments. And also, someone came up with the idea of starting education about work at earlier stages in order to change people's consciousness about work and life balance.
Everyone comes. Everyone.
There's nothing there, but
Yes.
yeah. Tell us about demographics.
Come up, team members. Yes, as you can see, our whiteboard is pretty much white still. Yes, I think that's because all of us are coming from very different backgrounds, and it was a little bit tough for us to more pick up the more specific topics within ourselves.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember that we agreed on to solve this issue is to accept a lot of immigrants. That's I believe the only thing that we all of us have been agreed.
I actually disagree with that.
Really? See, this is how we were very difficult to summarize our topics.
Okay. So immigration was an issue, but you don't have.
I think that was not a large topic that we talked about.
Okay.
Yes.
And in fact, I disagree that our discussion was that formless. The reason that I sat here was that I'm interested in relationships between men and women from different angles, and demographics begins with men and women creating babies. I think in the course of our discussion, we discovered that demographics, in fact, links up with a lot of the other topics that people are talking about, including work, including education, including income inequality, and it's all part of a much larger issue that has to do with the fact that the economy has changed. The place where the population is declining is in advanced countries, and that when you have an information-based economy, it's no longer that physical or having strong muscles is not an advantage, and so there's no working advantage for men. But there was 50 years ago. That suddenly changed so that women no longer need or find attractive their traditional role as baby makers and homemakers, and that has turned the world upside down in a very short period of time. And so immigration is, in my view, not a real solution. And a real solution has to be much more radical. And I proposed one that people rolled their eyes at, which is basically compulsory non-work for one of a pair, which I think a lot of people say that you can't do that, it's against the Constitution. It's probably right, but I think that sometimes when you're trying to think outside the box, you need to begin with a radical proposal that's concrete, as opposed to saying, as many of us seem tonight, we sort of throw our hands up and there's no solution. I'll stop there.
Yeah. So this is how we were difficult to summarize our discussion.
Okay, great.
Figure out how
Let me ask you the following question. You know, we just went through all the groups report back. What do you think? Where shall we, or what do we do from here? We are trying to pick up some of the topics for the next session, February, March, probably. And any particular ones that you find doable or interested or you're willing to read? Any ideas? Sure. Yeah.
On behalf of the group,
Yeah.
I didn't talk about the brand itself because we didn't start before the brand.
Right, yeah.
But it is not necessarily the Olympics, but we have to consider how we could present in maybe any opportunities to do that.
Yeah.
So like maybe one is a topic.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how do we present ourselves, right? That and we're going to have a very good opportunity, or we're sort of in the journey to present ourselves in 2020. And so that's it's like a little bit far away, 7 years, 6 years from now. So, but it might be a good idea to sort of get a crack at it in a specific way. And I thought that safety issue was a quite interesting one. Safety is very difficult to get across. And yet that's such and it's like an air, as you said. So if we can, and we often talk about this food and, omotenashi and all these things, but that's been mentioned so many times. So that's not really that new. But we talk about safety, and yet we don't know how to get that message across. So if you are a PR manager of Japan Inc., and your assignment is how do you present Japan's safety of Japan as a key message? What do you do? That could be one sort of specific topic. And since it's a little bit sort of abstract, so we can think of all sorts of different kinds of safety issues that we take for granted. But that's not available. That's not that prevalent overseas. That seems to be one of the topics. And I think another one that I could think of, if you have any, just let me know, is that we talk about this work-life, balance and all this stuff, and that it seems like we're still sort of talking about things like from helicopter or from airplane still. And company has to do so and so and so, we have to do so and so and so. But one thing which I heard from this group is second job. So if a lot of people start having a second job, and if companies agree or are allowed to do that, what will happen? What would you do if you are trying to get the second job? Can you still do it? What kind of advantages would that give to you and give to the companies. And I think there is that the relationship between the company and the individual needs to change. And having a second job is one clear way of doing it. Because at least you are not depending upon one source of income, which gives a little bit of flexibility to you. And the company doesn't have to be totally responsible for your livelihood. So that may be good for the companies as well. And so that's another one that I could think of. And the demographics is, I think, as we talked about, that's the fundamental sort of element, source of a lot of issues that we talk about. And it's clear, it's very well known, Japan is a very rapidly aging society, much more so than any other country. So we can be a role model, so to speak. We face this issue much more quickly than others. And yet, and we do know, demographics is something that you can forecast because it's happened over the long period of time. And yet, we really haven't come up with any particular specific solution. So if we say, as you said, drastic solution, what kind of drastic solutions can we think of to deal with it? Because this is something that, I mean, like, just one person in the household can work or others cannot work or whatever, that kind of thing. So what kind of solutions can we think of? Practical, specific solutions, radical solutions rather than practical solutions. And let's see, what else? We can think, as a part of this new working style, we can think of all sorts of different kinds of working styles, such as work at home and so forth, that we can start rather than asking companies to let us do it. I think the second job is one of these specific ways that we can do something about it, rather than waiting for the company or waiting for the government to do something about it. So, and probably, like list of new working styles include the second job kind of things. So, any one of these things do you think we can discuss in February? I think at least we think of rebranding or public relations or rebranding of Japan through safety. And let's see, new working style, including second job for all of us. And the third is, let's see, the drastic solution for the demographics, which is the cause of a lot of other things. And I could almost do this doshusei, size issue, but that's a little bit sort of over the top of our head. What do we do with introduce doshusei, even though we think that Japan is too big to govern? So it's not necessarily, I'm not really sure whether we could do anything about that. And robotics is another area, since we are very well advanced in that area. So how can we use, what are the uses, specific uses of robotics, so that we can really we can sell that idea, which differentiates Japan from others. So those are the kinds of things that I could think of. Seems like you're already gone.
If you want us to vote on one of them?
Yeah. Probably we can vote, if that's okay. It doesn't have to be safety. But what I don't want to do is, we need to be branding, but we can never decide on the topic. Because that's what we've been doing. So rather than just kind of do, well, how do we rebrand Japan? If we say safety, because that's what the team came up with, is a critical one, and yet it's not as well known. And we don't know how to present it. But that's a very important issue. I mean, take a look at the Olympics in Russia, Sochi. Safety is such a big issue. So probably we can use it as one key phrase. How do we sell safety when we're selling the air or we're selling water? And mineral water, we took it for granted, right, before. And yet, we pay much more yen for mineral water than oil today. It's much more expensive. And yet, how did that happen? So how can we sell the idea of safety, which we take it for granted here, to the outside world, particularly in relation to Sochi and Olympics? So that's the idea. Okay, are we ready to vote? Let's just vote and see what happens. Okay. One is safety. The second one is list of working styles, including second job. Third is radical solution to demographics. And the fourth is use of robotics. Those are the four, which I just picked very, very arbitrarily. I don't think I've left anything. So out of these four, which one would you choose? You can just vote once, okay? Let's go with the safety as a rebranding. Seems that's the case. Okay, list of new work styles. Okay, and including second job. Radical solution to demographics. Use of robotics. Okay, it seems like the first one, rebranding and safety, and the second one, new working styles, including second job, are the biggest. And so why don't we do rebranding of safety, of Japan, to safety next time in February, and probably March on the list of new working style. And I think in a way, rebranding of Japan may fit quite well in the February topic, because Davos, annual meeting of Davos, of World Economic Forum, though I'm not going, is at the end of January. And this year, Prime Minister Abe will make the speech in the top, very best time, because everybody's very interested in what's going on in Japan. So that's a very good opportunity. And I'm pretty sure that we hear a lot about how Japan is perceived in Davos. So probably we can include some of the things that we have done, that's happened in Davos. And that may feed into this topic of how do we rebrand Japan with the topic safety. Okay? I hope we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the next one is on the February the 7th. And the same place. So think about if you are given the job of marketing manager of Japan Inc. So assume that Prime Minister Abe says, we will assign the marketing manager, branding manager of Japan when I come back to Japan. And the assignment is to sell Japan with the safety at the time of Sochi Olympics, because we are talking about the Olympics in 2020. And it's very important. The safety is a #1 issue. Terrorism and all these other things included. So assume that Prime Minister Abe says in Davos, we're going to assign the marketing manager, And his or her job is to make sure that everybody in the world appreciates safety of Japan as such a key message. And they will come to the Olympics, they will come and to all these things. And the number of people who are coming to Japan is going to increase, partly because, and primarily because, it's such a safe country. So how do we sell that idea? You can think of anything, any media, any promotion. Don't think about the budgets. Just think about all these possible ideas that you can get that message across. And just think about all the technology, all the media, all these different ways of, selling the concept, which is very difficult to get, put arms around it, because safety is, we take it for granted. Okay? So that's the assignment for next time. And why don't we use a lot of gadgets, like toys and things, and come up with the ideas? Because it's much more fun type of things. A lot of sort of visuals and things. So let's do it that way. Okay? Okay, so that's all for January session. I think we just made it in time. And I think it'll be a very interesting, exciting topic for the other February. In March, we'll talk about the new working style and second job. So probably some of you may want to look for the second job by March and see how it goes. Then we can talk about it very much more specifically on real time and real, reality, in a realistic way. Okay? Great. So thank you very much for coming. Do we have anything to say? Let's do the pictures. Let's do the group picture so that we can post it on the website. And just for your information, we do have a Facebook group. So if you are part of the Facebook, just search Davos Experience in Tokyo. And you can come and join us. And we do a lot of things there too. And our website will have the video of this session with the summary pretty quickly over the weekend. So, and for that website, let's just take a picture.